Hey, Apple. Apple. Hey. Hey, Apple. Hey. Apple. Hey, Apple. Hey, Apple. Apple. Hey. Hey, Apple.
What? What is it?
Aren't you glad I didn't say apple again?
Hello students, this is Coach Holiday. I hope you enjoyed that little piece of comedy there to start this lesson out. We are working on writing the equation of a line part 2, and this is just a continuation of the last lesson on writing the equation of a line. We're going to be doing the same stuff. There's going to be one problem that's going to add a little bit of depth to to what we've been doing, but other than that, it's the same thing you did in the last lesson. So go ahead and take your notes out. Make sure you take good notes. If you have any questions, you need to go back and rewind and rewatch any part of this. Please feel free to do that. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing I want to do is I want to go and look at something that was in your notes yesterday and just have a quick reminder on it. Remember, if we want to write the equation of a line when we don't have the slope and the y-intercept, we first have to have a point on the line, and then we have to have the slope of the line. So I'm either going to give you the y-intercept, or we're going to give you a point on the line, or some information to find those. In this lesson, we aren't going to necessarily give you the slope each time, so we may have to go find that. Once you have that point and the slope, you can substitute them into this equation, y equals mx plus b, and solve for b, and then write the final equation in y equals mx plus b form. Okay, so just a quick reminder, let's go ahead and use that as we go through these problems. Okay, alright, first example. We want to write the equation of each line in slope-intercept form. So in our first example, we tell you that it has a slope of -1. So what that means is that m equals -1, and it goes through this point. It doesn't give you the y-intercept, but it does go through that point. Now, let's remember, anytime we see something that tells us to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form, we want to write that equation, y equals mx plus b. And remember, in our final equation, the m and the b have to be in there. Okay, that's down here in the final equation, y equals mx plus b, using the slope m and the y-intercept b. Okay, so let's see how this problem lines up with our little graphic down here. First of all, we have to have a point on the line. Well, we do have a point on the line. The second thing is, we'll do a different color here, we have to have the slope of the line. I do have the slope, m equals -1. And then the third thing says to substitute what I have and solve for b. So let's do that. So I have, let's go ahead and label this 8 and the 5 in our point, so that 8 is our x and the 5 is our y. So let's plug in this equation what we know. We know that y is 5. We know that m is -1. We know that our x is 8. But I don't have the y-intercept, so I'm just going to put plus b. And now we're going to solve this equation for b. So I have 5 equals -1 times 8 is -8 plus b. Now I'll solve for b by adding 8 to both sides. And that's our 0 pair. So that gives me 5 plus 8 is 13, and 13 equals b. Alright, so I substituted it and I solved for b, so I had all three of these steps due. Now I want to write the final equation in y equals mx plus b form using the slope and the y-intercept I found. So y equals mx, so the slope is -1 times x, plus the y-intercept I just found is 13. Now remember, you could also write this where -1 times x is just y equals -x plus 13. Either one of those would be okay. You'll probably see it in the second form if it's a multiple choice type question. Okay, so that problem was just like the ones you saw in yesterday's lesson. Now let's go ahead and look at a problem that takes us just one step deeper. Okay, this one says that we want to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form that passes through 4, -3 and 3, -6. So let's go down to our little checklist down here and see. First of all, you must have a point on the line Well, if you'll notice, I have 2 points on the line. I have an x1, y1, and an x2, y2. Those are 2 points that are on the line. The second thing says that you must have the slope of the line. Well, if we look at this, it doesn't tell me the slope anywhere. But if you remember, slope is our rise over run between any 2 points that are on the line. So what I'll do is I'll use my slope formula of delta y over delta x. And to do this, I have to have 2 points. Remember, you could also bring out the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And we'll go ahead and find the slope since I do have 2 points. So I'm going to take the y2, my second y, negative 6, subtract my first y. My first y is negative 3, so I've got to make sure I write that minus and then the negative. My second x is 3, minus my first x is 4. Now if you'll remember, adding or subtracting a negative is like adding a positive. Alright, subtraction is just like adding a negative. If you need to do that, that's okay. But negative 6 plus positive 3 is negative 3. And 3 plus a negative 4 is negative 1. Or 3 minus 4 is negative 1. Now negative 3 divided by negative 1 just reduces to 3. Or 3 over 1, you could keep it whichever way you want. Now I have the slope and I have a point. It doesn't matter which one of these points I use, I'll get the same answer for my equation. So I'm just going to use the first point. So we're going to do just like we did in the last example, y equals mx plus b. I'm going to substitute in what I know. I know my y is negative 3. I'm just going to use the first order pair. My slope I just found was 3. My x from that same order pair was 4, and plus b. And solve this for b. So I get negative 3 equals 12 plus b. Subtract 12 from both sides. And those make my zero pair. I get negative 15 equals b. So now I have b and I have m. So now I can go to my last step and write the equation in y equals mx plus b form. So y equals m, my m is 3, x plus b, but b is negative 15, so I'll just write it as minus 15. Oops, and there's my equation. Now, you're saying, well, what if I use this second ordered pair? Well, go ahead and try that if you'd like to. Plug in negative 6 here and plug in 3 here, and see, you'll actually get negative 15. Alright, I'm not going to do that for you right now, but that's something you can go through and do. Okay, if you need to go back and look at any part of this video again, please do that. Otherwise, complete that whisk, make sure that's submitted before you come to class, and we'll see you then.
Hey, Apple!
What?
Knife!
Huh?
Ooh! Oh, I warned you! Ow! Oh, that looks like it hurts. Tried to warn him. Hey, Pear!
Oh, God.